Hello, we're going through the Action of Happiness calendar, and today we're going to be exploring how to respond to a difficult situation in a different way and share some ideas on how you can do that. See you in about 30 seconds. Hello, everybody. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. My name is Shamat Al-Adina, author of Mindfulness for Dummies, and we're going through the Action for Happiness calendar this November. So, Action for Happiness is a non-for-profit charity based in the UK. I think it might be the UK's first happiness charity, if not the world's first charity, just focusing on happiness and well-being and trying to spread a bit more positive well-being in the world. They've been going for quite a few years, and I really like their calendars, and they have a different theme every month. And their theme's actually evidence-based. So in November, it's about trying something new, because if science has found, and you probably found in your own experience, if you keep doing the same things every day, you don't try and learn something new, you don't explore something different, and you just stick to your old habits and you don't challenge yourself, and then it doesn't really boost your well-being very much. Whereas when you try something new, you challenge yourself, you try something a little bit different, and you learn something to your well-being, and you're better able to help others around you too. So yesterday we were working on making a list of new things that you want to do this month. If you want to watch that video I made for it, you can watch it on YouTube as well. You'll find it there somewhere. And the next one is responding to a difficult situation in a different way. I think that's a really good one. Now, let me just explain a little bit on the brain science. This is quite interesting. So one of the things that they've done is they scanned people's brains, especially the front part of the brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex, which is the part which kind of makes us a bit different from other animals. That means that we can be more creative and communicate more and think and also worry more. And that's part of the problem. And so what they found is that some people's activity is more in the left prefrontal part of the cortex, the left front part of the brain, and some have more of a tendency for the activity to be in the right front part of the brain. And there's all sorts of ways in which you can shift it from one to the other, because the great news is that the brain changes more than any other organ in the human body. And what they've found is that, well, one of the things, because I'm into mindfulness, they found that people who do mindfulness practice, they start to activate more of the left prefrontal cortex. But another area that I've seen is that when people see difficulties as challenges, which is what we're learning about today, they have more activity in that part of the brain too. So one thing you can do, apart from being more mindful and being more present rather than allowing your mind to get a bit too lost into the past and the future, is to see your difficulties as challenges. Um, One example that comes to mind, hopefully my friend won't mind me sharing it, is that he's had COVID-19 quite a long time ago, and he had long COVID. Now, some of you may have experienced this, where the illness goes on for many, many, many days, hundreds of days, for some people. And rather than just being stuck with it and being upset by it, he's been sharing his own data. He's been sharing information about how he's been feeling every day. He's been sharing quotes with people. He's been examining his own data and his own health, and sharing ideas of things that work, learning from people what they're saying. And he's even been given opportunities to give talks about it to help support other people to navigate through it. So that's an example of having a difficulty, but also seeing it as a challenge, as an opportunity to grow from it. Another example is that, and I was thinking about this because today I need to write a script for a whole load of meditations that I'm recording tomorrow for an app. And I've been working on it for about a week or so, and I need to finish it today. And I was thinking, oh God, it's quite a lot of work to do. And just thinking about how I'm going to get through it. And that's a difficulty. But then I thought of it as a challenge by combining it with one of my values. So obviously my value is mindfulness and being present. So I can see it more like a meditation experience. And so every time I work on the scripts today, it'll be another meditation in itself in what I'm doing. So I'd love to hear your ideas. What difficulties are you going through, and how can you see them in a different way, in a new way, seeing them as a challenge? I'm going to give you some more ideas about how you can change your difficulty in the challenge into a challenge. Remember, if it's a difficulty, it just feels kind of overwhelming. If you see it more as a challenge, then it seems like something you can handle. So my first tip here is to break it down. So if you've got something really difficult that you're dealing with at the moment, can you break it down into something smaller? And that really helps because of another part of our brain called the amygdala is creates this thing called the fight or flight response. It gets very scared and it wants to run away, and that's why a lot of people do procrastination when they've got a really big task to do because it's just scary and the fear system kicks in. So one technique, which seems really simple, but a lot of people forget to do it, is to break it down into tiny, tiny, tiny bits that you could do in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or even less, just 1 minute or two if you want. It doesn't matter. And once you've broken it down, you have a go. Okay, can I start with that 1 minute? If 1 minute's too long, 30 seconds. If you can do that easily, 10 or 20 minutes. So just break it into small chunks, as smaller chunk as you want, even 1 second, and then you just do that activity. And then if you break it down in that way, the difficulty becomes a challenge. So that's one new way of seeing it. Second tip, work with others. So part of our brain to do with social connection is probably the strongest of all animals on planet Earth, potentially. We're highly social creatures. And so one way of turning a difficulty into a challenge is saying, hey, maybe I can connect with my friend or my family member, or maybe there's someone online that knows how to deal with this difficulty. Maybe use the hashtag, search on Twitter or Facebook, on social media, or just reach out and text one of your friends and say, hey, I'm working on this difficulty right now. Do you have any tips or do you have any ideas? Do you know anyone who could help? And maybe not even reach out with one person, try 2 or 3 people, and you may get some ideas of what you could do there. And the third one is combine it with your value. So this was a bit of a new idea I had this morning, but it's certainly been found to be beneficial in the world of positive psychology, which is if you've got a challenge, try and connect it to one of your values. So, like the example I gave for myself today was that the challenge is to write this long script and finish editing it. And I'm going to combine it with my value of being mindful and meditation. So I'm going to turn it into more like a meditation experience. I shared my other friend's example of the way he's dealing with his illness, and he's combining it with his value of data and science and sharing insights. And so he's combining there, and so it's becoming a challenge. So, what are your values? Are your values to do with kindness? Are they to do with curiosity? A lot of people's values creativity. So, can you use creativity to respond to your difficulty in a different way? Have a little think and just jot down or write down in the comments below what you're going to be doing. The more you can write in the comments, the more it's kind of more of a commitment on your side. You're like, okay, I'm sharing this publicly. This is what I'm going to do. And it might make you just makes that tiny step more likely that you're going to do it. So do share it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video, if you watched it, if you're going to try it, what you're going to try. And do subscribe to this video if you want to make sure that they come through to you daily. And if you're watching on YouTube, there's a little bell icon next to the subscribe, and then you'll get a notification. I think you might get an email or the little notification when it comes on every morning. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. New Ways November. That's our thing it's a little challenge for us to do today. I hope you have a great day and look forward to continuing tomorrow, which will be, what's tomorrow? Get outside and observe the changes in nature around you. Oh, that's going to be interesting. All right. See you tomorrow. Have a great day and bye for now.